and welcome back to Well with Samantha with me, Samantha Hale. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I put anything on here, and hopefully this is the start of a new weekly practice, new weekly videos for you, coming to you every week. So welcome back. This month, the month of January, I really want to focus on your magic, your mindset. That's kind of my theme for the month of January. Those of you who flow with me in person and have been for the last sort of 10 months now will know that I like to theme my yoga flows. I personally feel it brings more depth and it encourages us to focus on so much more than just the physical or the asana, the physical movement of our yoga practice. So this month, as always, there is a theme: your magic, your mindset. And over the next 4 weeks, we're going to break that down into 4 key areas. Compassion, which is this week's focus, clarity, courage, and calm. So this week we are focusing on compassion, and the definition of compassion is to suffer together. It is sympathy and concern for the misfortune of others. It is not empathy or altruism, although the concepts, they are related. So I feel that this is somewhat of a kind of negative way of looking at compassion. I've always seen compassion as more of a positive thing, showing compassion for others. And so I thought I would do a little bit of research, and I came across a Sanskrit word called karuna. It's a word I've heard of before, actually, and I didn't know it was Sanskrit. And karuna roughly translates to a desire to remove harm, which I really love, and I feel goes hand in hand with compassion quite beautifully. It also made me think about ahimsa, the first of the yama, non-harm, a desire not to cause harm. So I feel that karuna and ahimsa can be observed and actioned together. It also then led me to think about metta, loving kindness, or I read a translation, which I don't know if it is a true translation, but I really liked it. And that was a desire to bring about well-being and happiness, which I feel is, again, really beautiful. Whether it is a true or a literal translation, I don't know, but I felt it was very beautiful and I wanted to share that with you. And then it got me thinking about karma, action and reaction. So I feel that all 4 of those things come together really beautifully. And so today I really invite you, as you move through this asana practice, as you breathe, I really invite you to think about cultivating a sense of karuna or compassion, ahimsa, non-harm, and showing yourself that loving kindness, metta, through action and reaction, karma. And so, without further ado, bring yourself to a comfortable seated position. Whatever that may look like for you, whether you are cross-legged, maybe you're in mermaid, maybe legs straight out in front, or kneeling in hero. And if it helps, close off the eyes here. Maybe bring the hands to the knees, palms up if that feels good, or maybe one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. And as always, know that you have full autonomy of your body. If something doesn't feel good, don't do it. Come into your happy shape whenever you feel like you need to. And if you're not sure what your happy shape is, feel free to try mine, which is wide knee child's pose. You are your own yoga leader. I am simply guiding us through today's flow. And if you haven't already, close off the eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. And as you do, maybe bring your right hand to your heart center, palm down, keeping the left hand to your knee, palm up. And start to notice where your breath lands and how it feels. Don't try to alter it here. This is simply awareness. Perhaps your breath is a little higher up in the chest. Maybe you've had a frantic day or week. Maybe it's been quite challenging. Or maybe your breath is lower down in your torso. Maybe you've had a very relaxing week or day and you feel quite content and calm. Notice where your breath lands and notice how it feels. And maybe in time, think about inviting your inhale to deepen and your exhale to lengthen. Inhaling through the nose all the way down to the belly. And exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Inhaling through the nose, allow the lower 2/3 of the lungs to fill with oxygen. And as you exhale through the mouth with a sigh, feel the ribs come back to center. And continue here at your own pace. And as you breathe here, I invite you to think of a time over the last week perhaps when you noticed your heart hardened and closed off. Take some time with this memory. And now think of an item in your life, an item that you own that is imperfect, damaged even. I'll give you an example. My favourite material item is a scarf that I bought a few years ago, very expensive scarf that I treated myself to. And I have worn this scarf in all different weathers and it smells of the rain. And it has hair dye on it when my sister borrowed it and spilled hair dye on it. But I still love it. And I haven't had it cleaned yet. And as you think of this item and all of its imperfect beauty, allow yourself to feel a sense of compassion for this heart-hardening moment in all of its imperfect beauty. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And start to release with a big sigh. Inhale through the nose. And exhale with a sigh. One more time. Releasing both hands down to the knees, take an inhale, and as you do, raise that left arm all the way up to the sky and draw it into your heart center. Take an inhale, raise your right arm all the way up to the sky, drawing it into your heart center on top of your other hand. Taking that left arm all the way up again, inhale, and exhale, draw in that compassion, that loving kindness. Repeat on the right side, inhale, and exhale, draw it in. 2 more times each side. And coming on to all fours, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. If you've got a block or some loo roll, feel free to use it throughout this flow. It's totally optional. I do like to use props in my flows. So bringing ourselves into that all fours position, taking hold of your block, take an inhale through the nose, raising that right arm all the way up to the sky. Exhale, lower down to the ground, switching hands. Take an inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, lower. One more time each side. Placing your block to the side. Bringing the hands back down under the knees, curl the toes under, lift up into downward facing dog. Taking that dog for a little walk here. And drawing the hips skywards. Don't worry about those heels touching the ground, that's not the goal. Hips high. And extend through those fingertips, through those arms. Feel that stretch maybe in between the shoulder blades. If you want to feel more of a stretch in between, in the hamstrings, maybe bring a slight bend to the knee and draw those hips a little bit higher. Take a moment here. And slowly start to walk the feet in towards the hands. Hang low in your full forward fold for a moment. And on your next inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae. Head, neck and shoulders come up last. Stand tall in your Tadasana, palms facing forwards. Take an inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive down, full forward fold. Inhale, create space with a half lift. Exhale, stepping back on the right foot. Lowering down for Asana, take an inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, frame that front foot, step back into downward facing dog. Shifting the weight forwards to high plank, drop the knees for me here please. Exhale, come down through Chaturanga. Inhale, rise up through Cobra. Lifting back up into downward facing dog, stepping forwards on the right foot. Take an inhale, arms to the sky for Asana. Exhale, frame that front foot, step forwards into a full forward fold. Create space with a half lift. Exhale, full forward fold. Take an inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Inhale, arms come wide. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, create space with a half lift. Exhale, full forward fold, stepping back on the left foot this time. Lowering down for that low lunge, arms to the sky. Exhale, frame that front foot, step back into downward facing dog. Shifting the weight forwards to high plank, option to drop the knees. Exhale, come down through Chaturanga. Inhale, rise up through Cobra. Lifting back into down dog on an inhale, stepping forwards on the left foot this time. Inhale, arms to the sky for Asana. Exhale, frame that front foot, step forwards, full forward fold. Inhale, create space with a half lift. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Closing the eyes here, bring the hands to the sides, palms face forwards. Inhale, bring the arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive down, fall forward fold, stepping back into downward facing dog. Shifting the weight forwards to high plank, lowering the knees for me here, and bringing the left hand to the center of your mat, directly underneath your heart center. Grasp onto your block here, and bringing yourself to a side plank, knees to the ground to begin with. Exhale, start to lower and thread that block underneath the body. Inhale, bring those arms all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, thread through. Inhale. And think here, am I moving in a way that really honors my body? Am I showing my body compassion here? Am I trying to force myself into a position that doesn't feel good? How can I move in a way that does feel good? Inhale, rise up, holding here. And if this feels good, we can stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Or if it delights you, extend that top leg towards the edge of your mat. Option to stay here for another round of 2 breaths. Or if it feels good, lift that top leg all the way up, parallel to the ground. Inhale through the nose. And exhale with a sigh. Lower your block down, bring both hands back to the ground and start to lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, rise up through cobra. Go ahead and roll ahead in one direction here and roll ahead in the other direction. Curl the toes under, lift up into downward facing dog. And take that dog for a little walk here for me. Hips high to the sky. Take an inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, lower the knees towards the ground, hovering just about an inch. Inhale, hold here. Exhale. Inhale, lift up into down dog. Exhale, lowering down one more time. Just about an inch off the ground, hover those knees. Take an inhale and exhale through the nose. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower all the way down. Option to take wide knee child's pose or whatever your preferred happy shape is here. Taking the opportunity to breathe into the back of the body. On your next inhale, lift up into tabletop position. And bringing those knees together, bring the right hand to underneath the chest and start to open up towards the left side here. Again, stacking those knees, taking hold of your block if you want to. Reach all the way up to the sky. Exhale, start to thread underneath the body. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, weaving it through. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. 2 more times here. Last one. And we're going to stay here for 3 rounds of breath. So if this feels good, we can stay here, or if it delights you, extend that left leg towards the edge of your mat, holding here for 2 more rounds of breath. Or if it delights you, lift that leg so it's parallel to the ground. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale. And as you do, lower that left hand down to the ground. Place your block to the ground. Exhale, come down through chaturanga. Inhale, rise up through cobra. Go ahead and roll ahead in one direction. And roll in the other direction. Curl the toes under, lifting up into downward facing dog. Take that dog for a little walk for me here. Shifting the weight forwards to high plank. Option to drop the knees. Exhale, come down through chaturanga. Lowering the forearms down to the ground, elbows directly under the shoulders. Shoulders roll back and down, lifting up through sphinx. Gaze straight ahead, holding here. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. One more time. Bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders, rise up through cobra, lifting up into downward facing dog. Grabbing onto your block. Now I'm going to move into the opposite direction so that I can mirror you. Bringing ourselves into that down dog position, shifting the weight forwards to that high plank. Left hand comes directly underneath the heart center, grasping onto our block. Bringing ourselves into an alternative plank, side plank position, Vashisthasana. We have a couple of options here. We can lower that bottom knee to the ground, or we can stack the feet if that feels good in that higher up position. This is not my favourite. I don't feel stable, so I tend to bring my top leg in front, my top foot in front, and my lower foot behind. Take an inhale, raise up that right arm to the sky, and as you exhale, start to weave that block through just like we did a moment ago. Take an inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. One more time. And this time as you lift all the way up, option here to stay here, or if it delights you, maybe see how it feels to lift up that top leg a little bit higher this time. And we're going to hold here wherever we are for 3 rounds of breath. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale. Take another inhale through the nose. And exhale. One more time. And exhale, lowering down to the ground. Place your block to the side. Coming into that high plank. Option to drop the knees here. Exhale, come down through chaturanga. Inhale, rise up through cobra. Lifting back up into downward facing dog, or by all means go into your preferred happy shape here if you want to. If you're in down dog, let's start to take that dog for a little walk here. I'm going to turn around again just so I don't have my back to you when we repeat this on the other side. Taking that dog for a little walk and shifting the weight to that high plank position, bringing our right hand directly underneath the chest, grabbing onto our block, bringing ourselves to Vashisthasana, side plank, lifting up through that left arm, holding here. Take an inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, weave that block underneath the body, hips high. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. One more time. Bringing ourselves back to Vashisthasana, holding here. Again, option to lower that right leg down to the ground. Or, if it feels good, stay here. And if it delights you, maybe lift up that top leg, holding here. Take an inhale through the nose. Lowering the block down, coming back to that high plank position, option to drop the knees. Exhale down through chaturanga. Inhale, rise up through cobra. And take it back into your preferred happy shape or wide knee child's pose. Taking the opportunity to roll out the wrists here. Rest the head down if you want to, or my favourite, grab onto your block and rest your forehead or just the brow bone onto that long edge. And see how it feels to give yourself a little forehead massage here. I often get headaches that really affect my sinuses along my brow bone. So anything that applies pressure to that area feels really good for me. So if you experience the same, give this a try and see how it feels. And we're going to stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Into the back of the lungs, take an inhale. Exhale with a sigh. 2 more rounds. And slowly come all the way up to a kneeling position. And bring yourself to a comfortable seated position. Placing the block to the side, or if it feels good, you can sit on it. Usually the thinner ones are nicer to sit on, but by all means sit on it if it feels good for you. And coming back to that comfortable seated position, just like when we started our practice. And bringing your right hand to your chest, your right palm to your heart center, left palm upwards on the left knee. Closing the eyes if it feels good for you here. And bringing your awareness back to your breath. Take a moment to think about how you chose to show yourself compassion in that flow. Releasing both hands. Bring them in front of you, palms facing forwards. And imagine you are holding a beautiful piece of paper and a pen in the colour red, or maybe even pink. Pink is a tint of red, so if you love pink like me, then pink is good too. And start to write compassion, and imagine it is in the most beautiful handwriting. And just take a moment here to write that word out and really visualize it becoming so much more vivid, vibrant and bright. And as you do, bring your hand back to your heart center, other palm on the knee facing up. And bring to mind one experience from the last 24 hours that you are truly grateful for. And as you breathe in this compassion, karuna, the desire to remove harm, replay that experience from this last 24 hours in your mind. As if you are still there. Think about all of the sensations you felt, the sounds, the smells, the colours, and how you felt in that moment. Make this memory as vivid as possible. And take some time here as you come back to your breath. Now, with that vivid, vibrant memory at the forefront of your mind, think of someone you know who is struggling right now. And make a commitment here and now to do something kind for them in the next 24 hours. It doesn't have to be a great, big, grand gesture. It could simply be sending them a voice note to let them know that you're thinking of them. It could be a phone call or a FaceTime. Make that commitment now to do something kind and compassionate for them. And slowly bring your hands together at your heart center and start to rub the palms together. Feel that warmth, heat and energy start to build. Placing the hands over the eyes, feel that warmth, heat and energy resonate throughout your entire body. And as you breathe here, I'm going to leave you with this poem by Bo Taplin called Quiet Moment. In this quiet moment, I give myself permission to acknowledge my progress, to focus less on the distance I've still left to go, and more on the mighty distance I've already come. Keeping the eyes closed, start to draw the hands away. Place them one on top of the other at your heart center. Take a deep inhale through the nose here. And exhale everything out with a sigh. And as we do, we say thank you to the Krishnamacharya and Iyengar lineage of yoga, and to all of the teachers and practitioners who came before us. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's flow. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what came up for you, how you maybe showed yourself some compassion in that flow. I would love it if you would hit the like and subscribe button as well. And remember to hit the little bell so that you'll always get the notification when the next video goes live. And I hope that you will join me for next week's flow, where we will be drawing our awareness to clarity. Take care, stay well. Bye.